This video will demonstrate how to create section lines or sample lines and section views. And then once we have both the sample lines and section views created, we're then going to PDF the information. First thing I want to do is I want to add in these sample lines. So I go to the Home tab, the Profile and Section View panel, and select Sample Lines. Selecting sample lines, you will then see in your command bar to select the alignment. So I want to select my centerline alignment. I'm going to left click here and my selection cycling will appear, and I'm going to go to alignment. Left click on alignment and we get the dialog box for create sample line group. So that's going to include all the information we have in the file. So I'm going to have all of these ticked and go OK. Once you've done that, then you get this toolbar appearing. Now mine's slightly black on the top. That's just to do with a graphics issue. And what I want to do is right now this is set at station. So I want to change that. So I have to select this icon here, which is the fifth icon from the right hand side. And I want to change it from at a station to by range of station. So I want these at certain intervals, and then intervals I'm going to display in here, or set in this dialog box. So looking at this dialog box, the start range, I want to make sure that the sample lines start at the start, which is true, and then they finish at the end, which is true. The width then, I'm just going to leave it as 15 meters on either side. Again, we can come back and modify that. The increments then, I'm going to put in 100 and 100 and 100. So it's going to be 100 meter increments for these sample lines or cross-section lines. And just again, make sure that the horizontal geometry points are turned to false. We do not want additional sample lines at horizontal geometry points. Go OK, and then you can either press enter or escape, and you'll see all the sample lines then are displayed. You'll have to look at these sample lines just to make sure they are the full width of the highway envelope. So I've just selected one sample line there, right click and select similar. By doing that, it will just show all the sample lines in the model file, and you can quickly go through them and see if they are the full width. Now in some cases where they're not the full width, like this one here at chainage 1100, I'm just going to extend it a little bit further using the triangular grip. Again, make sure you use the triangular grip and not the square grip. The triangular grip will make sure it is perpendicular to the alignment. If you use the square grip, you could skew it. So just make sure you use the triangular grip. Just go through it quickly and extend them out where you need to. Once you have the section views or the sample lines created, the next thing we want to do is create the section views. So the section view command is below the sample view. Go to our Home tab, go again to the Profile and Section View panel, and this time we're going to be selecting section views. Selecting the command section views, the drop down, we want to create multiple views, so we're going to the Create Multiple Views. Selecting Create Multiple Views, we then get the dialog box for our multiple section view. In the General tab, we want to make sure we have the right alignment selected. In our case, it's Road 1. The right sample line group, we only have one sample line group in there, which is SLG2. I'm going to leave the default section view name. I'm not going to put a description. Layers, I'm going to leave it the same. And then the exaggeration of the sections, I'm going to leave it as natural scale. Go next. Make sure you have the right template file set here. So again, to set the template file, you click on this ellipse button, and then you'll just navigate to where you have saved the template file. And this is the template file we're going to be using. Select the template file and go open. And you have one option in there, and that's for 1:100 scale. Go OK. And now what we want to do is we want to make sure our group plot style is set up correctly. So I'm going to click on the edit button for our sheet grouping. Click on the edit button for the sheet grouping, and we want to go to the tab on array. Select the tab on array, and we want to make sure that the setup of our section views is going to be correct. So I can see it's by row, it's upper left, and that's what we want. We want to make sure it's going 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. In our case, it's going to be 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. And go OK. Go next. I'm going to do nothing in this offset range, nothing in the elevation range, nothing in the section display view option. And then in our data bands, I'm going to leave this information as is. Now, what's going to happen is it's not going to display the correct information in the data bands, but I'm going to show you how to modify that. So I'm just going to click Create Section Views. Selecting Create Section View command, then it'll just say in our command bar, identify section view origin, and I'm going to place all my section views up around here. Now, what I should have done before I place these section views is I should have updated the scale. Now, I'd highly recommend that you print out all your plan and profiles because that will be at a different scale to your section views. So again, you'd be going into your sheet set and printing off all of these sheets for your plan and profile before you start changing your scale. So now I'm going to change my scale because this is going to be a scale of 1:100. Click on that and you'll see now the views, the section views have updated, but our viewports and our outlines for the sheets have not. To update that, you just select one of the section views and go to Update Group Layout. Selecting Update Group Layout, it will just take a few seconds. And now, navigating out, you can see all of the sections in the 1:100 scale. Then what I want to do is I want to look at some of the information in here. So I can see that it is displaying the corridor. I do not want to see the corridor in there. So I'm going to remove the corridor out of it. To remove the corridor out of the section view, you select the section view. Now I'm going to select this sample more sources on the contextual ribbon under the modify section panel. Select sample more sources and you can see all the information that is added in here. I'm just going to remove out the corridor. The corridor here is shown up as a square and all our surfaces are shown up as a triangle. And go to select our corridor and go remove. Go OK, and then you'll see that the corridor has been removed from the information. The next thing I want to do is change the style of some of the sample lines here. Selecting the information again, so I'm selecting the section view and I'm going to update my styles of lines in here. They're both the same, so this is existing and this is proposed. Select the section view and what we're going to do is we're going to go to the modify view panel and we're going to select view group properties. Selecting a view group properties, we're going to modify the information in here. Modifying the information in here, we have 3 tabs. The third tab is just showing you where it's saved, but we have tab 1, which is section view, and then we have section. So section view is all to do with our bands, so it's from this line down. Then our section is all to do from the bands up, so it's all to do from this line up. What I want to do is I want to change the styles in here, so I want to change the styles. So I'm selecting the section here, go over to my styles. So the existing ground is on a style of additional surface 3. I do not want that. I want to select that additional surface 3. Then you get this box and change this to existing ground and go OK. I'm also going to change the corridor surface from additional surface 3 to maybe additional surface 1. If you don't know what the additional surface 1 looks like, you can select that preview button and then you can bring over the preview box and select your section view preview, and you can see it shows up as a blue line. And I'm happy with that, so I'm going to go OK and OK. That is the style of the sections updated. The next thing I want to do is I want to update the information in the bands. So I can see I have proposed levels and existing levels. The proposed levels and existing levels are reading the exact same information, which is incorrect. So I want to modify that information. Again, to do that, you select your section view, you go back up to View Group Properties, and then this time we're concentrating on the section view tab. We are going to navigate to this change band set, click on the ellipse button here. And what we want to do here is we want to make sure that this first row, section master it's called, that surface 1 and surface 2 are set correctly. Our surface 1 column should be reading the proposed road, so that's main road, or road 1, and the surface 2 should be reading existing ground. Hit apply, hit OK, and hit OK. And then you should see all that information updates. This is so we have our proposed level, which is showing up as 72, and we have our existing level, which is showing up as 75, which is correct. The next thing we want to do is tidy up some of these match lines that we have here, or sorry, ordinate lines as they're known as. Again, that's going to be in the tab of the section. So I'm just going to select my section view once again, go up to the section view the view group properties, navigate this time to the sections, and what we want to do is them ordinate lines here are under the label set. I'm going to change the existing ground. It always defaults to this edit no matter what information you put in there. So I've just clicked on the edit button, and I'm going to change this to no labels, go OK, and go apply. And you can see that them ordinate lines have disappeared. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that this is on ordinates. So I've clicked the road 1 surface, go to ordinates, go OK, and go OK. Now it's just taking a few seconds. Now you might be asking yourself a question, why is the proposed main line not going up and matching the existing? Why are they not hitting? Corridor just needs to be rebuilt, so I'm just going to rebuild this, and once I've done that, you can see it's updated. You can see for this next one here that the width of the sample line isn't wide enough, so I'm just using the triangular grips to widen it out. And again, you can see it's going to fall outside of my page, so I'm just going to left click and then update group layout. And lastly, once you have all that information ready, we are going to create some pages for this. Go to our output tab, go to create section sheets, and then what we're going to do is make sure it's the right alignment, the right sample line group, and the right section view group, and then we can just go create sheets. And it will save the information, go OK, take a few seconds, and we can now see that we have two sheet sets in here. So one's a view frame group, which is the planner profile, and then this is our sheet sets, or our section sheets. Double click on any one of them in there. Again, it has the right information in there. Again, you'll have to update this title block, and once you're happy with all the information, just PDF them all by selecting the top, selecting the very last, right click, and go to publish, and publish to PDF. Save it then to your desktop, and that is your PDF created.